Is depression sabotaging your work life? Here's what you need to know. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Zachy, and today we're diving into a topic that's often overlooked but so incredibly important: depression at work. It's one of the most silent struggles people go through, and it's time we talk about it. Whether you're dealing with it yourself or noticing it in your colleagues, we need to understand how depression impacts our work life. Let's get into it. So, first things first, let's talk about what depression at work really means. A lot of people think depression is just feeling sad or down for a couple of days, but it's so much more than that. Depression is a real mental health condition that can affect how you feel, think, and behave on a daily basis. It's not something that can be easily shrugged off or ignored, especially when it comes to work. You might experience it as a lack of energy, a sense of hopelessness, or even a general numbness toward your job. These feelings aren't just temporary. They can stick around for weeks, months, or even longer. And when depression strikes at work, it can make everything, from completing routine tasks to collaborating with colleagues, feel like an insurmountable mountain. Imagine waking up every morning and feeling this heavy weight just by the thought of getting dressed and going to the office. Or worse, being in the office, surrounded by tasks that feel endless, all while struggling to focus. You can be physically present, but mentally, you're checked out. It's like walking through a fog. You might have trouble concentrating, making decisions, or staying motivated. And it can be extremely frustrating when you know you're not operating at your best. What makes depression even more challenging is that it often goes unnoticed. Many people dealing with depression at work are masters at hiding it. They continue to show up, do the bare minimum, and put on a brave face, but inside, they're fighting a mental battle. It's a silent killer. The impact it has on their work performance, relationships with colleagues, and overall well-being is profound, but because it's not visible, it's hard for others to recognize. So how can you tell if depression is affecting you at work? It's not always easy to spot, and sometimes you might not even realize it's happening until you're deep into it. But there are a few common signs that depression at work can show up in. Let's start with chronic fatigue. We all have days when we feel tired, but if you're feeling exhausted all the time, even after a full night's sleep, this could be a sign. It's more than just physical tiredness. It's like your body and mind are drained, and you just can't summon the energy to get through the day. Another sign is a lack of focus. You might find it difficult to concentrate, and even simple tasks can feel overwhelming. Your brain just doesn't seem to be working the way it normally does. You might find yourself staring at your computer screen, unable to process the information in front of you. And when you can't focus, you start to fall behind on projects, miss deadlines, and feel like you're not meeting expectations. Withdrawal is also a common symptom. If you've noticed yourself avoiding social situations, skipping team meetings, or no longer engaging in casual conversations with coworkers, this could indicate depression. It's easy to isolate yourself when you're feeling mentally and emotionally drained, but withdrawing from others only makes it worse. You start to feel more disconnected, and it becomes harder to engage with the world around you. Then there's absenteeism. You might find yourself calling in sick more often or showing up late for work. You might feel like you just can't get out of bed some mornings, and even when you do, the thought of going to work feels like a huge burden. Missing work can give you a temporary sense of relief, but it only adds to the stress and pressure when you return. Lastly, depression can cause a shift in your mindset. When you're dealing with it, everything can start to feel negative. You may feel hopeless about your job, your abilities, or your future. This is often the most insidious part because it's not just a bad mood. It's a complete change in how you perceive yourself and the work you do. And the longer you feel like this, the more it affects your job performance and interactions with others. Now, let's take a deeper dive into how depression impacts work performance. You may have experienced this yourself or noticed it in a colleague. Depression can make even the simplest tasks feel like insurmountable challenges. And the worst part? It often makes it harder to see a way out. You might find yourself struggling to complete projects, missing deadlines, or even avoiding tasks altogether. When you're battling depression, work no longer feels fulfilling or rewarding. It's just something you have to get through, and that's incredibly draining. The longer this goes on, the more you start to feel like you're failing. It can feel like you're not living up to your potential, And that only makes things worse. The more you try to keep up appearances, the more overwhelmed you become. It becomes a cycle. Depression drags down your performance, and when your performance drops, your depression deepens. But the impact doesn't stop at the individual level. Depression at work affects the entire team and company. It's not just your performance that suffers. It's the collaboration, communication, and overall productivity of the team. Colleagues may notice that you're no longer contributing to group discussions or projects, and this can create tension or even resentment. A lack of communication and team cohesion can impact the success of projects, which ultimately affects the company's goals and success. So what can you do if you're dealing with depression at work? First, let me say that if you're struggling, you're not alone. It's important to know that there are ways to cope with and manage depression, and you don't have to face it by yourself. If you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected from your work, there are steps you can take to help manage it and start feeling better. One of the first things you can do is talk to someone. If you feel comfortable, talking to your manager or someone in HR about your situation can be incredibly helpful. Many companies offer resources such as employee assistance programs, EAPs, that provide access to counseling, mental health support, and even accommodations to help you manage your workload. If your workplace isn't offering these services, it's okay to ask for them. You're not weak or lazy for seeking help. You're being proactive about your mental health. Another strategy is to take small breaks throughout the day. When you're dealing with depression, even small tasks can feel exhausting. So, give yourself permission to step away from your desk, take a walk, or even just sit quietly for a few minutes. These breaks can help clear your mind and recharge your energy. Practicing self-care is also crucial. I know it can feel like there's no time for it when you're juggling work and everything else in life, but taking care of your body is directly linked to taking care of your mind. Make sure you're eating well, getting some exercise, and sleeping enough. These basics can do wonders for your mood and mental health. And don't hesitate to seek professional help. A therapist or counselor can help you work through your feelings, build coping strategies, and even help you manage stress at work. There's no shame in asking for help. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and there's support out there for you. Lastly, be kind to yourself. Depression can make you your own harshest critic. So try to catch yourself when you're being too hard on yourself. Acknowledge that you're doing the best you can, and allow yourself to take things one step at a time. Remember, it's okay not to be okay sometimes, and you don't have to have all the answers right away. If you're in a leadership position, whether as a manager or team leader, creating a supportive environment for employees struggling with depression is key. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and it's time we break the stigma surrounding it. One of the first things you can do is promote open communication about mental health. It's not about having all the answers, but creating a safe space where people feel comfortable talking about their struggles is crucial. It's also important to offer resources and flexibility. If you have employees who are dealing with mental health challenges, let them know that help is available. Encourage them to take advantage of employee assistance programs or mental health days if needed. Offering flexibility in work hours or remote work options can also help employees manage their mental health while still fulfilling their responsibilities. Creating a supportive work culture means leading by example. If you, as a manager, prioritize mental health and well-being, your team is more likely to follow suit. Encourage self-care, practice empathy, and recognize when someone may be struggling. A little understanding can go a long way in helping someone feel supported during difficult times. So, there you have it. Depression at work might be a silent killer, but by recognizing the signs, offering support, and practicing empathy, we can begin to change the narrative. If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, remember that you don't have to face it alone. There's always help available. If this video resonated with you, or if you think it could help someone else, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us here at Zakaprat for more content like this. Let's continue this conversation and support each other in breaking the stigma surrounding mental health at work. Leave a comment below if you've ever experienced depression at work. Let's talk about it and help each other heal. Until next time, take care of yourself.